Okay, stehen bleiben sind wir beim Finden von dem Fingerpüppchen. Und das glaube ich haben wir jetzt im Inventar. Genau, da haben wir es. Können wir denn das Püppchen untersuchen? Scheinbar nicht, aber vielleicht redet jetzt John Barrett mehr mit uns, wenn wir ihm das sagen. So, da haben wir ihn.
Oh God. Where did you get this?
We understand it has a lot of sentimental value for you.
It does. It may seem silly to you, but it means a lot to me. Thanks. This finger puppet. This dumb, ugly little finger puppet is proof I killed my sister. She gave it to me just before the accident. And then afterwards, you know, I'd put it on her finger. She'd make me laugh. It disappeared a week ago, right after I made Mary promise me she'd keep living. For me. 'Cause I could tell, in her eyes, she wanted to give up. She was tired. I couldn't let her go. When I thought I'd lost this puppet, it suddenly occurred to me that instead of convincing Mary to stay with me, I'd actually pushed her into leaving. I killed her. Someone else may have helped her, you know, carry it out, but it's really my fault.
John, I don't understand something, and I don't mean to be insensitive, but how would you know what Mary was thinking? She couldn't speak. She could hardly move. How were you communicating with her?
We both knew Morse code. We tap into each other's palms. It's almost like how Helen Keller used to communicate.
Mary knew Morse code.
Yeah. You know, for laughs, she'd tap out the things that bothered her on the regulator button, because she knew it would cut off after a certain point. She complained about blisters and cramps. Jane.
Jane?
Yeah. Mary told me every Sunday at some point she'd get so bored when Jane came over that she'd spell her name out with the regulator button. It's like the finger puppet. Stupid, but funny. I really miss her.
We need to get back to the lab and review those regulator records. I think we may have overlooked our best witness.
Okay, wir müssen den Regler nochmal untersuchen. Denn das Opfer, die Mary, hat Morsenkinder. Wo untersuchen wir den Regler? Drin nicht. In der Datenbank? Das ist die ID-Nummer. Fingerabdrücke nicht. Das muss dann vielleicht da sein? Na, da haben wir ja nichts. Vielleicht da herum? Na. Oder können wir das direkt untersuchen? Na, heute. Moment einmal. Na, oder? Oder sollen wir das untersuchen? Na, das haben wir ja fertig.
We're a little short on answers right now, but that just means we have to go over everything again. Evidence, test results, interviews, all of it.
Okay, wir müssen also nochmal ins Labor sagen. Und wir müssen Den Regleruntersucher. Mhm, haben wir wieder Post. Und die Suppe. Haben wir keine Akten über Ihre Morphium-Anforderungen? Haben wir denn Akten? Was haben wir denn für Beweise? Vom Sicherheitssystem? Die ID-Nummer vom Morphium-Regler. Da können wir nichts machen, oder? Jetzt müssen wir vielleicht da noch mal reinschauen. In die Datenbank.
So here's what's bugging me. Every time Jane comes to visit, Mary all of a sudden has this wildly unpredictable pattern of morphine dosing. And I just couldn't put my finger on what was gnawing at me. You know, what could Mary possibly be thinking? And then it hit me. If you were to take Mary's erratic pattern and filter it through the computer as a Morse code pattern, did you see Mary's final message right before she died? J-A-Y-N. You know, Morse code has been in use for over 160 years. It only ceased to be an international standard for maritime communication in 1999. And for some reason, I remember when the French Navy ceased using Morse code in '97. The final message transmitted was, "Calling all. This is our last cry for our eternal silence." Let's go talk to Brass.
So, reden wir mit Brass. Gibt's denn jetzt einen Haftbefehl?
What do you got in the way of evidence? I mean, this isn't exactly a smoking gun. Jane Barrett may have had opportunity, but as far as we can tell, she hasn't got a motive. Now, our little John and Nurse Lou, they have motive. I'll see what I can do, but now that John's more willing to cooperate, why don't we talk to him and see if he lets something slip?
Mit wem reden wir? Mit John? Und wo ist John? Hä? Der ist doch... Da ist John.
Look, officers, this is a really terrible time for me right now. I'm sorry for lashing out at you. I realize you're just doing your job. I lied to you about one thing. If someone did this to Mary, I want to know who. I'll help you. In any way I can. Ask me whatever questions you need.
Okay.
I could talk about Mary all day if you wanted me to. That Pauline wasn't actually a registered nurse? Yeah, Mary knew. She didn't have a problem with it. She liked Pauline a lot. She also knew how I felt about her. I think Mary probably thought I could do better than an ex-stripper, but she was happy that I was happy. Everyone knew we were a couple, including Jane. I love Pauline, and I know she would never do anything to hurt Mary. And even if Mary had wanted Pauline to help end her life, I mean, even if Pauline had found some way to communicate with Mary about that, she would have come to me first. Whatever you think you have on Pauline, I'm telling you, you're wrong. Pauline doesn't know Morse code. How could Mary have asked her? I know you probably think I'm blinded by love or something, but Pauline couldn't have been the one who ended Mary's life. Pauline and I were home all night. We got back around 10, and then we basically crashed in our room till morning. It's not really much of an alibi, right? Nobody saw us, nobody called us, but it's the truth. I understand you have to ask me that question, but it still hurts. And the answer is still, no, I did not kill Mary.
You see, John, the problem is, absent you having an alibi we can confirm, the evidence we have right now suggests that you had both opportunity and motive in your sister's death.
What evidence?
Well, for one thing, we found a shoe impression beside your sister's bed. It was left in fresh mud. We were able to match that impression to the shoes we found in your bedroom, the ones which still had caked mud on them.
Wait a minute. Think about it. If I was really gonna kill Mary, why the hell would I track mud all over the house and leave my shoe print where you guys can find it and match it right back to me?
You ever hear the expression consciousness of guilt? It means deep down, you might have subconsciously felt guilty for doing what you did.
I didn't do what you think I did. The thing is, I have another pair of shoes just like those. I keep them on the boat. Somebody else could have used them. Somebody who wanted to make it look like I did it. Now, the weird thing is, I keep those shoes in a locked cabinet. But here's the key. Go check it out. Jane. My sister and I don't exactly get along anymore, but between the two of us, I'm the one capable of murder, not her. Jane didn't like Mary. She didn't trust her. But then after the accident, Jane tried really hard to make things right between them. No, Pauline and I were there all day. We never saw her.
Do you lock the front door?
No, we don't. I mean, I guess it's possible Jane could have come in without us seeing her. Anything's possible, right?
Okay, jetzt haben wir Schlüssel gekriegt. Und zwar für den Schrank auf dem Boot. Okay, da schauen wir jetzt mal hin. So, es stellt sich die Frage, wer ist der Mörder? Es deutet mehr irgendwie auf John hier.
Same size and brand of shoe, with mud on them. Right where John told us they'd be. Okay, now the trick is to distinguish one pair of muddy shoes from the other.
Gut, es heißt also ins Labor und Schuhe vergleichen. Okay, können wir denn so schauen? Anschauen können, aber fotografieren oder so nicht. Das heißt, unter dem Mikroskop. So, nehmen wir mal die Schuhe aus dem Schlafzimmer und die vom Boot. Ja, die stimmen überein. Vielleicht vergleichen wir noch die Abdrücke.
The shoe impressions we collected at the crime scene match the treads of the shoes we recovered from the boat. These are the shoes the killer wore. The shoe impressions we collected at the crime scene match the treads of the shoes we recovered from the boat. These are the shoes the killer wore.
Ja, jetzt wissen wir, dass der Mörder die Schuhe dran hat. Aber wer ist der Mörder? Wer hat die Schuhe angehabt? War es John oder Jane? Oder vielleicht sogar Schwester Leo?
What evidence do you have?
Tja, können wir vielleicht den nochmal fragen? Nick. Tja. Oder wie schaut es denn aus mit dem anderen Abdruck? Das wird wahrscheinlich das gleiche sein. Gut, wir müssen da rein.
The shoe impressions we collected at the crime scene match the treads of the shoes we recovered from the boat. These are the shoes the killer wore.
Gut, das ist nichts, was uns weiterbringt. Sie haben Post. Was haben wir denn für Post?